I just wish the black woman knew, like, you don't gotta wear wigs to be beautiful. You don't have to wear eyelashes to be beautiful, like eyebrows. Like, you don't need all that. You're beautiful, like, just the way you are. And that's not black girl magic either. Black girl magic is natural. Like, it looks way better.
Yeah.
I also think that they've talked themselves into, and they can't talk themselves out of. I think they know that being natural and being with no makeup and all this stuff is beautiful, but they've been told and they've been shown like this is beautiful.
They've just been
so
shown
they can't
over
get
and
their,
over.
And they
their
just want
mind
to
off
fit
of
in.
it.
They just want to fit in.
Hey fam, Gracie here once again. Welcome back to the channel. I am hoping that from wherever you my people are watching this from, you're doing alright and God has protected you and preserved you very well. And to you that continuously give support to me on here, that really means a lot to me. So thank you so very much for your support. And as always, even today we have an interesting episode to look at, or maybe a conversation to have. And I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comment section about this entire episode. Now in this one, our black sisters took to their social medias to respond to Amish biracial women that were lecturing them on what true black beauty standards are supposed to be. And these women were telling black women that, hey, you don't have to wear wigs, you don't have to wear lashes, you don't have to wear makeup for you to be beautiful. You should stick to all natural, just like us, right? The true black girl magic is when you are all natural. And to be honest, that was such a beautiful message that was coming from them. But it is the way they were conveying this message and how they were addressing black women in a third person voice, which means they were excluding themselves out of this conversation, and yet they claim to be black. So black women are like, who is they if you are addressing us? And let's be honest, guys, these biracial women, for the most part, and biracial men, they have what we call the 3C type of hair, which is more loose and also more acceptable in the society. And we've also seen a lot of controversy around this hair conversation, where biracial kids literally come to tell black people that if you have what we call the 4C, you might as well go bald, right? Because according to them, I think they look more beautiful and probably theirs is better than what black people have. But also looking in a perspective of the anti-blackness that is always harbored in the biracial community, especially those that were raised by their palm-colored mothers. Now, I'm not saying that all of them, right? But for the most part, that dynamic, they have a tendency of hating their black features and also harboring anti-blackness and thinking that they are better than, black people. So when black women landed on this one, they're like, who are you to lecture us on, what true black beauty standards are, when for the most part, you don't even go through what we go through. So we are going to look at these conversations.
I just wish the black woman knew, like, you don't gotta wear wigs to be beautiful. You don't have to wear eyelashes to be beautiful, like eyebrows. Like, you don't need all that. You're beautiful, like, just the way you are. And that's not black girl magic either. Black girl magic is natural. Like, it looks way better.
Yeah. I also think that they've talked themselves into, and they can't talk themselves out of. I think they know that being natural and being with no makeup and all this stuff is beautiful, but they've been told and they've been shown like this is beautiful.
They've just been
so
shown
they can't
over
get
and over.
And they
their
just want
mind
to
off
fit
of
in.
it.
They just want to fit in.
That's true.
I mean, that's what everybody's doing, right?
Because even like we've never grown up with wigs. We've never grown up with fake eyelashes. And in our minds, we know natural. We know
We've
it's
always
beautiful.
been natural, right?
We know we know it's the way to go. But we're still affected by it. We're still like.
And
but am I enough?
imagine if we hadn't grown up this way, how affected we'd be by it. Like if it was our moms doing it, or our sisters, or our best friend at school, like that would be. How do you even fight that alone?
And do you want to know what I wish? I wish that everyone would leave black women the fuck alone. Now, I'm going to be very cautious while addressing these young ladies, because they are just that, young ladies. But if you guys will notice what they are wearing in the video, it gives uniform. I'm not sure if they are Mennonites, which is kind of like Mormon, but they are Mennonite adjacent. It's something of that sect of religion, of practice, or whatever. So they were born and raised in a certain type of ideology, and I understand that. But if you are a part of what most would consider very small group of people, right, especially when it comes to black people in this country that practice a certain type of religion, it's very small in comparison to the majority. I don't like I do not like that conversation. I hate when people have these conversations about black women, because it is done often. Black women are the only ones that get talked about for wearing wigs when literally everyone wear wigs, or weaves when everyone wear weaves, and it's demonized. It seems as ghetto even when black women do things like wear braids, but somehow when you put it on a skinny white woman, it's high fashion. And I hate that y'all don't talk about how we got here, how we got to the point where a lot of black women are uncomfortable with their natural hair. We don't talk about the fact that black women are the only ones who had laws, actual laws created to prevent us from wearing our natural hair. And I know some of you are going to say, well, that was so long ago. It's not that long ago. It really is not that long ago, and things are passed down. Those same traumas, those same things. So those women who were legally prevented from wearing their natural hair, who were not allowed to love their hair, and when they did love their hair, they were penalized. There were laws literally created against them. Let's keep in mind that the Crown Act, what is the Crown Act, you ask? It was a law passed that would prevent black women or black people from being discriminated against based on their hair and how they choose to style their hair. Because guess what? That's the thing that was and is still happening. The fact that young men and young women are being expelled or suspended from school for wearing an afro or having locks versus their counterparts. The fact that I'm active duty military, as most of you who follow me may already know, it wasn't until about, I want to say 2 years ago, where we could wear our natural hair in a puff, where the uniform regulations include natural textured hair. So before that, it wasn't allowed. And then before that, twists weren't allowed. 2-strand twists were not allowed. Locks were not allowed. So now when y'all keep having these conversations about why aren't black women comfortable with wearing their hair, I don't know. It could be the laws that were created that prevented us from doing so. It's the fact that y'all are not having the conversation should be around the things that happened to us, the laws that were passed to put us in this position, why people hate seeing black women love on themselves, and that now as black women navigate natural, as black women navigate learning themselves, we should have space for them to do all of it. Because I don't need you to tell me that I look good without makeup, I look good without lashes, I look good in my natural hair. I know that. But guess what? I also like all those other things. And it's okay for us to like those things. So I really, really dislike when y'all come on the internet, or people come on the internet and they be like, I just wish black women know. We know. We know. We don't need y'all to tell us. And actually, we would really like y'all to stop fucking telling us. We would really like y'all to leave us the fuck alone. If you yourself don't like makeup, you don't like lashes, don't wear it. No one is forcing you to wear it. And if as a man, you just feel like you need to come tell black women what they should and should not wear and what you prefer and what you don't prefer, see, it's plenty of women that don't do it. Go find them. Go find them. I want y'all to find each other and leave the rest of us wig, lash, makeup wearing bitches alone. I really do. Leave black women alone. We have been demonized for wearing our normal hair, our regular hair, our natural hair. They literally made laws against it. And then when we fucking assimilate, when we fucking adapt, we're still demonized. We're still talked about. We're still like, it's black women literally cannot get a single fucking break. And it gets to the point where you just want to start fucking swinging. Because goddamn.
You are right. Now let's go down this rabbit hole.
She doesn't necessarily look like me in all ways. I literally had somebody ask where Peyton's mom was because clearly I couldn't be her mom.
You need a biology class.
It's all my children.
Did you see my dad?
I just took it as super.
And there's people that do disagree with that. Like, you can't say you're biracial, let's say you're multi-ethnic.
Oh, we talked about people with the one drop rule and the image you carry too. Like in America, we are white. Our moms are white, our dads are black, so we are white, but we can't carry that image.
Well, here's what I talk to you about President Donald Trump. I cannot conclude from experience and knowledge of him what he is and what he is not to me because we don't have any relationship or no prior knowledge. But I can say from what I sense and what I feel of him that Mr. Trump is
Look at the kids. All biracial. All of them.
I I believe also that bosses and the behaviors of bosses can be conflated with racism in the day and age in which we live.
Now, I know that I just gave y'all quite a few clips to watch and ingest, but I think that they're all important. I went down this little rabbit hole of trying to, just see what's going on. Because, yes, I understood that they were all somehow randomly biracial. So from what I've gathered, basically it's a group of black men and their biracial babies. All of the children are biracial. I think I saw one young adult female that did not appear to be biracial, but when it comes to mixing, sometimes you can get more white or more black, so it's hard to say. But from what it looks like is a group of black men, because the young lady said that they're not Mennonite, they're not Amish. What it looks like is a group of black men impregnated a bunch of white women and created this organization, this group, their own sect or whatever, but loosely based on Mennonite and Amish and the way they dress and carry themselves and how they believe that the roles of men and women and blah, blah. But they're also, in a very weird way, pro-black. Because the last one of him preaching was about black, their thing is called like Black Excellence. That's like the name of their church or some shit. And while the men feel like they should be with white women, they didn't say that, but the fact that they're all with white women. When the young lady was talking about dating, this is the clip where she was talking about that she's white, and he's like, no, you're not. You're black. Like, he's trying to force on them that they are black when they've never experienced what it's like to be a black woman, truly, because the entire community does not have a fully black woman in it, right? So he's pushing his daughters towards, or the young lady, I don't know if that they're his or not, he's pushing them towards marrying a black man, even though none of the men and the women in the community got with black women. So it's almost like they understand that now if they're biracial children then turn around and get with white men, this black excellence, that community that they have built, is gone. And I think it's funny that they sit around and talk about black women. So all the ideas and impressions that these young ladies have about black women are from these black men who do not date, marry, impregnate black women. It's from a group of men who saw it in their best benefit to create a community of nothing but biracial children and then call it Black excellence. So now you have these young ladies on a podcast bashing black women when they have never, ever experienced what it is like to actually be a black woman, truly, in America's world, in this day and age, because they've been raised under this organization, under this little umbrella, under their ideologies. So everything that they're getting about black women is what they get from the media and is what they get from their white moms and their black dads who don't like black women. So everything that they have been fed about black women is coming from those sources. In another video, they talk about Sexy Red and how Sexy Red is the image of black women. But in another clip, they were speaking about Kamala Harris, and I believe they insulted her when they called her unintelligent. So on one hand, you're saying that Sexy Red is the image of black women, but Kamala Harris is unintelligent, and Donald Trump is a boss. You see how that all goes? So they're a group of biracial, Donald Trump loving Republicans who thinks Kamala Harris is unintelligent, Sexy Red is the image of black women, and black women don't know that they look good without weaves and wigs. And mind you, they don't have interactions with black women.
This is not an honest conversation. And honestly, the privilege is showing. And if you really care to have healthy discourse, about this, since Black women are the center of your conversation, make sure that y'all all don't look the same. Yes, you all don't look the same. And also have people on different sides of the aisle to have that discourse that is needed, because there's a lot of nuance that is missing. First things first, I'm an esthetician and I specialize in corrective skincare. So I focus on acne, pigment, aging, things of that nature. And I say that to say that a lot of people are not just married to the idea of makeup just because they feel like it. Acne is one of the most common skin conditions in the United States of America. It affects 80 million people annually. Excuse me. So the cases that I see, that I deal with, are extremely severe. Acne is painful. It leaves extra pigment. It leaves scarring, indentation. So people are wearing that because it is affecting their confidence. So when we think about natural, for some people dealing with that, which none of you guys have, which I can see, that's a different ball game. And no one, especially you guys, don't have the space nor agency to tell people how to dictate their lives when it comes to dealing with skin conditions. How about melasma? Melasma is a hormonal, it can be sun-induced, it can be immune-induced pigment condition that leaves a dark pigment mass all over your face. Should people just accept that? Again, you guys are projecting your beliefs and your morals on people when you don't even have the full picture. And that, to me, is not fair. And I really want to talk about hair for a second, because this is a conversation that kind of triggers me a little bit. Because there are women, right? There are Black women that do not look like you. They look like me or darker, that have coarser hair texture. The reason why the Crown Act was created, because women with my hair texture, and we wear it in its natural states, we can't even get a job, right? We'll get discriminated. We'll get fired. Hell, in Texas, you can't even wear locks because you may not cross the stage at your high school graduation, or you may get kicked out or expelled. These are present day issues. And if you want to talk about hair loss, I'm going to talk about me for a second, because I am dealing with hair loss. And this is the reason why I wear wigs. I wish I could wear my hair in its natural state. And so many of my clients that are under the care of a physician to try to figure out what's going on with their hair. No, it's not traction alopecia from years of wearing wigs and braids and weave. No, a lot of hair loss issues are rooted in hormonal changes or something that's going on that is immune related. So again, when we have these conversations, we have to be honest about what is actually happening and what people are experiencing. But to me, it seems like you guys didn't care about that type of dialogue, because you would have made sure that you would have people on opposite sides of the aisle that believe the way that that believe differently from the way that you believe, and they dress differently, and also live their lives differently. Yes, I truly believe that makeup should be an accessory, not a necessity. But I also understand and I empathize with people who are experiencing certain issues with their hair and their skin, regardless if they're Black, because a whole lot of white women, a whole lot of Asian women, a whole lot of Hispanic and Latino do the same thing. Do I need to give a history lesson on why we started out wearing wigs? And never mind. The Crown Act was enough. At the end of the day, I need us to do full research and make sure that we're open and large-minded if we're going to have these conversations, and make sure that the people that you're having these conversations with are not parrots, that are not going or you're in an echo chamber where you're just going to hear yourself sound the same and you think that you're automatically right, when you are offending a lot of people because of the conditions that they are dealing with, and they're doing the best that they can to cope with it and to make themselves feel better about themselves. So I hope that brought some insight a little bit. But again, I think we need to be a little bit open and large-minded in order to come to an understanding about why other people are doing things differently than you are.
My question is, why is there always this push towards Black women to accept ourselves naturally? No weave, no lashes, no this, no that. Y'all don't be doing that to nobody else.
First things first, this idea that natural beauty is only pushed on Black women is not true. Muslim women, Amish women, Mormon women, all types of women, natural beauty is pushed on them. It's just one of those things. But Black women's natural beauty is very important for this reason. Picture there being laws about black women covering their natural hair. Picture going through assimilation and having to press your hair to get a job. Picture being in a country and having a beauty standard that looks nothing like you and will never look like you. Black women kind of have accepted the European beauty standard, and not only that, went extremely past it out of insecurity, out of force, out of all of these things. They worked so hard to convince you were ugly, and now the hair industry is $1 billion business. The problem isn't that you want to express yourself and express your beauty. The problem is you'd rather wear a wig, a bad wig, a 40-inch wig, whatever, and pay hundreds of thousands of dollars as opposed to wearing your own beautiful afro. Y'all are falling into these European beauty standards. I just seen so many black women recently getting nose jobs, lip injections. Since when have we needed lip injections? Y'all are gonna look old and busted by the time you're 35. They have to get Botox. They had to get, lip injections. They have to do all of these things to maintain any form of youthfulness and beauty. We didn't have to do that. We are naturally beautiful, and we have strayed so far away from that. Express yourself, wear your pink hair, wear your long bust downs, cool. But just make sure you cool with you at the end of the day. Preach this baddie aesthetic, which is full of BBLs that are taking women out and spending all this money on hair that doesn't look like yours. Because trust, black women at large are not spending thousands of dollars for kinky afro hair. They're spending it to look like Malaysia and them, Indian girls and them, non-black girls in them, because that's what it looks like. But like I said, do you? It's your own journey. If you don't ever care about that, that's cool. Everybody not going to care about that type of stuff. I just think black women are the most beautiful, and I wish that we did embrace it more.
If you've watched this far, I want you to drop your thoughts in the comment section about this entire episode. I, as a person, I must admit, appreciate, and acknowledge the progress that the black community has made. This community has come a long way to where we are right now when it comes to preaching self-love, self-awareness, self-acceptance. To one extent, now this community has influenced a lot of other people that used to frown upon black features to now going and paying lots of money to get these black features that they once made fun of. For example, you see lots of these women, palm-colored, going for bigger lips now, paying lots of money. Lots of them are going for braids. Lots of them, palm-colored men, Asians, are going for, afros. Lots of these people are going for, the bigger nyash, because now it is the cool thing. That's why I said this community needs to be appreciated, because it is really, really doing a great job. To see the community where it is right now, it's been baby steps. It's not been without any resistance. They've been resisted, and they have, persevered and taken on the challenge, taken on the insults. And I feel like a lot of people that come from a community that is outside of this community want to come off as if they are teaching and preaching something new. I don't think this is something new that black people have not heard of. They have been preaching this in the same community. And also, I think the reason as to why black women are like, if you are outside of the community, then you don't have any right to tell us on what to do, because you have not lived our experiences. These are one of the most resilient women and men that have gone through it all. While the other side of the community, the biracials, that have been accepted, their hair is looser. In fact, that is one of the most accepted one. And also, let's not forget that for some reason, as much as love exists, the reason as to why palm-colored people may be decided to reproduce with some of you is because they don't want to be hated for what their ancestors did to you. Because they know if they reproduce with you, you have kids with them, then you're not going to hate them. You're not going to revenge. You're not going to look at them as enemies anymore. That's a manipulation. That's another side and way of looking at things. Now, I am in no way against our features. That's why I appreciated the community for what it has done to where we are right now. People need to appreciate it. People need to acknowledge that this community has really come a long way, instead of always telling this community to do this, perform this way. Now you don't look elegant here. Now this and that. And that's exactly what has been happening. Black women have always been told what to do, to perform, to suit other people's preferences. That's why the Crown Act has just been introduced probably like 3-4 years ago, something like that. Yes, where black women are allowed to wear their own hair. All along, they were performing and acting according to what their masters wanted them to do. And I think black women and this community have come a long way to even advocate and be like, no, we are beautiful, leave our hair alone. So if this other community was thinking that whatever it is preaching, it is really something new, no. They are pioneers that are fully black that pioneered this movement. And let's be honest, for the most part, biracials, one of the things they admire about themselves the most is their hair because it is more acceptable. But also those that have been raised by palm-colored women, they have tendencies now. Not all of them and not all palm-colored women have these tendencies. Some of them are very curious and they are open to learning from black women on how to even raise their biracial kids, right? But for those that are not open enough, they always raise these kids around palm-colored people. So these kids have the superiority complex of always thinking that they are better than black people. And that's why they also feel the need to tell black women, wear this and don't wear this, because they feel like they are better than them. Also, these women that we see in the podcast, they also admitted that they are considered more white than black. So the black girl magic they're talking about, they don't know about it. Because to me, black girl magic is to turn things that out of the blue, you create something out of nothing and make it beautiful, make it influential, and make others admire it, right? So I feel like if there's anybody that needs to lecture black women on what true black beauty is, it's supposed to be black men and black women. Lots of palm-colored women wear extensions because they have the thinnest hair. That's why you see all the blondes and all of that. Yes, lots of them wear that. Nobody says anything about them. Lots of palm-colored people, in fact, if we are talking about this, palm-colored women wear tons of makeup and nobody says anything. Black women are also women. When did it become a problem for women to play with makeup? I thought that was the normal thing. Palm-colored women wear a ton of makeup. In fact, as much as we see the black women on the media wearing makeup, it's not all of them that they wear these things. But also, for you brothers and sisters, I also hear you advocating for this. You want our women to be more natural. I think be affirming for the progress that these women have made already and the community has made. Affirmation really means a lot to women specifically. When you affirm them, when you appreciate them, you appreciate the progress, right? Yes, but also let's not forget who established these industries, because the beauty industry is one of the billion industries and it is also meant to exploit black people. That's why you realize, because when you see black women being told not to wear wigs, black men love brands. That's a billion industry too, that is specifically tailored and made to target black people because they know black people love cool things, right? And black people love to wear brands. And we should also look into that. If we are to leave the beauty industry, the makeup industry and all of that, and the hair industry, because it is all targeting black women to take money out of their pockets. And if you do not have the financial liberation, then you don't have anything. And that's where other communities beat us at. With the progress that we are making, we are going to soon realize that some of these things, yes, as much as they are good, but we will lose them one by one, just like some of the things that black people have started losing, right? Let's look at palm-colored women in the military, with the Crown Act. They have their hair. Black women, you're supposed to wear wigs. You're not supposed to wear your afros. What about palm-colored men? As much as you're supposed to be having short hair, yes, some Palm-colored men, they have hair that is not really long, but at least it's hair. When you are black, then you're not supposed to wear your afros. So the double standards of always checking on black people, but then you don't check the other people. Anyways, I think I've made enough points here. I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comment section. And yeah, whatever you want to do as a black woman, do you. And as a black man, do you. As long as you are not moving on any other person's tone, we will definitely go step by step. This community still has a long way to go, and I think it's time for us to appreciate ourselves and not let others to dictate what we should and what we should not do. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not, and I'll definitely see you in another amazing video. Until then, my name is Grace and I love you. Bye.